Hello, everyone. So, I want to talk about a very important day that I think is important that's coming. And it is a bit out, but I want to actually give you some information in regards to the lead up to this particular transit so that you can watch it for yourself. You can see what's been happening for you, what is happening for you as we lead up to this transit that I think is important, which is Pluto in Capricorn trine the nodal axis in Taurus, right? Taurus Scorpio, but it'll be trine the North Node. And what I think is interesting about that is really the lead up to it and how it really plays, I believe, a part with this Mercury retrograde and Venus and Mars and what's going on with Venus and Mars and Capricorn for the next few weeks. So on January 26th, Mercury was retrograde and it trined the North Node in Taurus. And one of the things that I think is interesting about that transit is that we might have been having communications or perceptions or memories that were actually giving us the opportunity to really assess our essential needs. And we could have been actually recognizing how in our upbringing, our family line, our structures of the past, our ancestors, anything from the past, really, our relationships from the past, how they actually influenced our experience of getting our needs met. And typically what happens is we learn about getting our essential needs met in the very early childhood. If we think about Aries as the time that we emerge out of the womb, and it is the I am essence of our being. We come out of the womb and we exist, right? And then as we develop our consciousness, we move into Taurus consciousness, which is really about getting our essential needs met. What are our essential needs? Well, first and foremost, they are the needs of the body. So this involves all of the senses. And so, food, water, shelter, touch, we're utilizing the senses to actually inform us on what we need to survive and how we actually survive. And in that vulnerable time, we know that we're actually really vulnerable and dependent on our primary caregivers, which are typically our parents, but not always. So wherever our first tribe of origin, right, our family, those that helped us stay alive in our most ultimate vulnerability, right? And so as we get older and mature and go through maturation cycles, we naturally will attract to us based on how we were able to actually get our essential needs met in that time frame. And so this was like a psychological wiring of the synapses in the brain, right? This is how I get my food and water, my shelter, my needs met. This is how I survive, Taurus, right? And then, we know that Taurus energy is about survival, but then as we grow, it's about thrival. So it's survival and thrival. And we hope that we actually not only survive, but we also thrive. So this is really, Taurus energy is our essential needs. It's our body needs, right? It's our self-love. It's Therefore, our self-esteem, how much we're able to survive and thrive, can very much affect our self-esteem, right? Our self-trust and our self-confidence. And, this does inform us of our values, right? So our values are very much about survival, but it is also about how we perceive our thriving. And that is also related to Taurus's sign that it is connected to in the natural wheel of consciousness, being Scorpio. Scorpio being guided by Mars and Pluto, or ruled by Mars and Pluto. We know this has to do with how we actually act on behalf of our unconscious desires to evolve on the earth plane, Taurus, and in this incarnation. So Taurus and Scorpio are always working together. And so this is what's interesting is, as I said, on January 26th, Mercury retrograde. We know that it went retrograde in Aquarius, but then it ingressed backwards back into Capricorn. And on January 26th, as it was retrograding back into Cap, right, it then trined the North Node. We might have been getting perceptions, communications, insights, intuitive hits in a way, in regards to our essential needs and how we may have had patterns in the past that actually were inhibiting our thriving based on patterns, even in the synapses of the brain, right? Of how we perceive, how we get our needs met, which ranges from survival to thrival, okay? Now we know that Venus is retrograde in Capricorn, and Mars has just entered Capricorn. So keep that in mind, because as I tell you these dates, we're going to move further into moving closer to that transit of Pluto trine the North Node. So on the 29th of January, Venus is going to station direct. And guess what's happening then? It's so interesting. Mercury retrograde will then conjunct, in other words, be in the exact same place in the degree of Capricorn with Pluto by retrograde, right? So Mercury retrograde will conjunct Pluto and Venus goes direct. Venus is the guide or ruler of Taurus. So all of this is really working together. Our vibration, our values, getting our needs met, our essential needs, tuning into our essential needs, how they are being updated, and how we may be realizing the things that have inhibited us from actually getting our essential needs met. And, also we've been getting likely these insights in a way that is helping us to desire to take action, to do something new, right? So now February 4th, Mercury is going to go direct. And so it's something to note what's happening for you when Mercury goes direct. And on February 6th is the date that Pluto trines the nodes. So right before Mercury goes direct, right before Pluto trines the North Node in Taurus, Mercury goes direct. So that's pretty potent. Now Pluto will expose any areas where we may, again, need to really assess what's happening for us in regards to empowering ourselves in really expanding our consciousness in regards to our Taurian energy and our vibration, Taurus, Venus, and how we can get our needs met, our needs that may be updated, may have changed, and our values that maybe have updated and changed to this point, right? Now, on February 12th, Mercury is direct and it will conjunct Pluto. So again, this can really be more perceptions. Mercury is direct now, so this will be a date to be aware of as it's conjunct Pluto. This could be a time that we actually are feeling empowered. We might get some kind of validation on some level, whether it's through insights, perceptions, communications, that we are on the right track with empowering ourselves in a new way to get our needs met, to survive, to thrive, right, in new ways. And then Mars conjuncts Venus on February 13th. So Mars and Venus end a cycle together, right? Well, they're going to be actually traveling together for a bit. And so them meeting at that point, I really feel like this is, again, giving us the opportunity to really look at, okay, there's some cycles ending in regards to how I go about getting my needs met. Mars and Venus. Mars is always about how we go about getting our desires, right? In other words, how we apply energy to actually get our desires met and to act on behalf of our own evolutionary trajectory. And as well as it always is acting on behalf of Pluto, so what is unconscious. So as Mars and Venus are conjunct throughout the end, the mid-February to the end of February, and then conjunct again with Pluto early March, just being aware of that Mars-Venus energy and what's happening in our relationships, what's happening in our relationship with ourselves, how we're inspired to meet our needs in new ways and create new structures of consciousness in regards to getting our needs met. And also acting on behalf of our desires. So just want to see something here, something that I wrote down. So in this whole cycle, one of the things that I think is most important to be thinking about, as Mercury is still retrograde, as it's making these contacts, as it goes direct, is, was there anything that, any kind of conditionings that we may have picked up, whether it's from our ancestral line or family line, inherited karma from our family line, our upbringing, from authority figures, the society we find ourselves in? Is there anything that we may have bought into or been conditioned to look at reality in specific ways that actually has prohibited us from thriving in the way in which we desire to thrive? And that could be in any way. It could be in relationships. It could be in relationship to ourselves, relationship to our body, relationship to our needs, relationship to others, our relationship to our finances, to our resources, anything that would have to do with our survival and thrival. So I hope this is helpful. And, I encourage you to pay attention to these dates. You could actually, journal, see what's coming up for you, and see how these transits work. And you can also, of course, look in your natal chart, see what houses, which means aspects of life that these transits are happening in, meaning Capricorn. Capricorn is where Pluto, Mars, Venus, and Mercury are right now. And then where's Taurus in your chart? That's where the North Node is right now. Where's Scorpio in your chart? That's where the South Node is in your chart right now. So you would apply those specific themes in the houses or the aspects of life. So you could really see, where is this really happening in your life, in what arena, right, of your life. So again, I hope this is helpful. If you have any insights or comments, questions, I'd love to hear. And if you do find this helpful, then please do like, comment, share this video. You can also subscribe to my channel. I would be delighted to have you as a subscriber. And if you feel inclined, you can click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.